This is not Lumpridge. Why am I starting from Burthorpe? Anyway, hello YouTube. My name is Gorilla and this is my RuneScape 3 One Chunk Iron Man. I've been watching a old school RuneScape One Chunk Iron Man and one day I was searching YouTube and was searching if anyone played One Chunk Iron Man in RuneScape 3. There was very little content around this concept, maybe because RuneScape 3 doesn't actually have any chunks anymore. I got an idea. I wanted to try myself. Is it actually doable or how it is like playing RuneScape 3 like this? And I first started playing with my phone. That's why I got very little content from my early progress. Basically I was trying to figure out will I commit to this gameplay. And now I've decided this is what I wanna do. And I decided to make this video about it. To show my journey. First, before we get into the actual grind and the gameplay, there are some basic rules I must go over. Firstly, I won't get restricted by time-gated tasks, mainly farming. I will do as much as I can, but it would be, in my opinion, stupid to just wait, come online a few times a day and I can't progress anymore. This also includes diversions and distractions. Some are the mini games, something like that, are time gated, so they are off too. Secondly, if a monster has something in the drop table that I can instead buy or acquire somehow else, I don't need to get that as a drop unless it's an unique. Then I obviously have to get it. But for example, death runes were early monster drops that I didn't need to get because, as you can see, they are selling it in the store, so I don't need to get it. Thirdly, I need to physically be able to move between chunks, so no teleports unless it's the only option. So, for example, charter ships are useful, but I can't teleport to, let's say, Varrock, unlock Varrock chunk that way. I need to walk there. As rule number 4, if I get an absurdly slow task, for example, agility shortcut, and the only way to train it is to do a slow agility shortcut over and over again, I will most likely skip it. I have some guidelines, like if I go over 80, 20k an hour is fine, and over 90, 30k hour, and after 99 till 120, I have no idea. It's a lot of XP, so if it comes to that, I must reconsider, but there are no strict XP an hour guidelines, but I will do something crazy like Limpfruit, for example. You will hear that a lot. I got very much inspired by him. As rule number 6, skilling efficiency upgrades are not necessary, like getting cooking level for not burning fish, or getting higher rune crafting level to make multiple runes at the same time. And 7th rule is that materials that are not gotten consistently uh, are not chunk requirements unless I get it. For example, in the beginning of this video, I catch an impling. If I get, let's say, a rune bar from impling, I must use it to smith something. But it's not initially a chunk task because it's kind of random if I get it or not. I will go later over the rule sets from the website that I'm using. It has more specific rule sets, let's say. And as a last rule, I have some problematic skills that I have special rules for. Firstly, Herblore, because it's so tightly connected to farming, I don't need to. Basically, they are not tasks. So Herblore is practically in backlog until I need Herblore level for a quest or achievement or something like that. Secondly, summoning. I have not decided yet what to do with that. I haven't unlocked it yet, but when I do, it will be hard to decide because basically I would have to take it very high when I unlock it, but the XP an hour is very hard to calculate because you need to get the charms for it. But I will see it when it unlocks. And thirdly, Slayer. I don't know what to do with that, but it's not the problem right now because I have no masters to progress it very far. So now that is out of the way, we can begin my journey. Disclaimer that most of the content I will show here is that I show you what I did because I don't have content from the time period. But I have some clips that are from my journey, but I don't have voiceover, so I must retroactively record and tell you what I'm doing. This is my chunk map right now. So basically, I will go over my 3 first chunks, no, 4 first chunks that I did with my phone during summer. Here you can see the dates. So it's half a year, 6 months. You can see when I unlocked each chunk. So these were kind of fast chunks, and I basically did them with my phone. When we get here, that's where I got a lot of content, but I will show you now what I did during the first hours. Firstly, I came here and I saw this town was terrorized by these wild beasts. So I had to kill them and get 40 attack. Not that big of a grind, because here you can see I had to buy this Adamantic 2H. It was my best in slot weapon. There's an agility course. I had to run it once, and then I had to. I don't need rune mysteries to do this. I had to mine some rune essence, and that's basically it. There is some Slayer equipment I can buy and get start Slayer, and there was let's go here. Some saves that I could crack with thieving, but I had no way to train thieving, and I had no Slayer monsters, so the chunk was pretty much over. Oh, I'm almost a bit of a spoiler with my levels, but it's fine. So those were the tasks. Into the second chunk, I unlocked oak trees, fishing, a fishing spot, farming patch. I don't believe this hunter area was not yet open for me. There's the line. There's no rune light or anything in RuneScape 3, so I can't visually show you where the line goes. But the main thing that was unlocked with this chunk was this cave here, a Slayer cave. There's one Slayer monsters. I don't even want to try to pronounce it. And there's also cave box and Crawling Hands. So I had to get the drop table from these monsters. That includes the Crawling Hands. I will show you. I will show you. So these are the main drops I had to get. Crawling Hand from Crawling Hand, obviously. Offhand Rupper Chicken by killing these chickens. I don't remember the drop rate, but it wasn't too much. And this cornucopia, don't know how to pronounce, from cows. Let's see. I think it can store a food or something. I don't have chat on. But yeah, those were the drops. And the biggest grind actually was because I had oak tree over there. I had to fletch oak shield bow. There are no long bows in RuneScape 3. I had to make oak shield bow, but because I had to chop the tree, I got willow seeds. So I had to grow willow and I had to make a willow shield bow. And because of that, I had to pick some flux too and run over here and spin some bowstring. As you can see here, I had to get no 35. Wait. There's the shield bow 40 fletching. And a bit of a spoiler here. It's really high now. I will come to that later. but not too bad first grind. And that was basically the second chunk. Another disclaimer. As you can see, this guy here has the Herblore skill cape. And in the rule sets through the website, I decided I don't take skill capes as tasks. Because if I did, this guy also sells, I think, the 120 cape. So I would have to take 120 Herblore in my second chunk, basically. Or maybe not second, because I don't have source for herbs really, other than Guam or something. But still, it's off the table. Third chunk opened me this little bit of a hunter area. It's really low level. I just had to basically catch it once, get bit. But this is the first main area that unlocked. Mine. We have some clay and copper and tin and iron and silver rock. There's one thing I need to mention later about this. But and there are some game rocks. But basically what this unlocked me smithing and mining and with this clay, let's take two. I can craft some urns. Urns are skilling tools in RuneScape 3, where when you get XP, you will fill the urn, and once it's full, you can teleport the urn and get some XP back. It's 20% XP boost, basically. I can do something here. Cooking urn. Here. And here. And then I need to add some material here. It says fire rune to add to this urn so it comes active. But that's basically what I unlocked. And with the urns, there's another thing I will come to later. Basically, I took where's it? Farming urn is highest level, and I had no nature runes, so I couldn't do them. Cooking urn was second highest. It's level 1. Yeah, sorry, I was talking shit. I got the crafting levels from the previous chunk when I did the bowstrings. Yeah. Never mind, but I come later to those urns. I had a bit of a problem with them later on. But then I unlocked this White Wolf Mountain. And I needed 50 mining to cross over here. So I took that with iron from that previous mine. And with that I unlocked Ice Warriors. And this cave. This will be my main training place. And when I come up here, I got some really big monsters. Ice giants. And this is my main training place. Or either this or when I continue. Some spiders. Kinda useless. Here we have more giants. giants, and this is familiar place if you have done Heroes Quest. I got ice gloves from this queen. But here are some more giants. I had to get the drops from the giants and warriors. Was not too bad. Some seed drops were very rare. I can show you the when it comes to drop rates and skill capes and etc. I can show you the details from the website. What are my settings, if you like. I'm not going to through them in this video because it will be too boring. If you want, I can show them all to you in the next video. But some drops were really rare. I think I got them all eventually, but initially it was not task for me. So when we continue, there are also white wolves, obviously. White Wolf Mountain. Nothing special from them. This is where my chunk ended. There's nothing really here. There goes the line near that obelisk. So now I will show you from the chunk picker more. So next chunk I rolled was this here. These three were open. I rolled this, and basically it just opened this little. I will show you. It just opened this bit of land. But later it opened this scary place over here. But after that I unlocked the southern part of this mountain, which unlocked fishing spots for me. So basically what I did, I fished some fish. Firstly I fished lower level fish, but mainly swordfish and lobsters until I got, was it, let's see, 76 fishing for shark and also cooking 80. And I had no bank, so I fished my inventory full, chopped one tree, lighted it, and cooked my fish. And until this was the last task I did with my phone, and this was by far the most grindiest thing I did till this point. And one other thing, I unlocked this patch, which meant that I could grow fruit trees. And eventually I got high enough farming level to grow Yew trees, which meant that I needed to get, let's see, I had to get 70 fletching, which is way more than 40. I think I had to chop 13,000 willow logs. Not too bad, if I remember correctly. And I just remembered I forgot to show you something. You may think, how did I end up getting so high farming level? I think it's in the 30s that I needed my farming to start farming fruit trees. And you might think, how did I get it? I need to show you. Here when I unlocked this chunk, I could walk over here. And there's a portal which sends me to a quest area. There were 2 quests I could do. Land of Snow. Violet is blue and violet is blue too. Those were the quests. Originally, I think these were Christmas quests, but they became permanent quests. And from the quests, I got a bit of XP and I put it all to farming, and I got, I think, 33 farming, if I remember correctly. I had to help this little girl here. This one, not this, this one. These were the fishing drops I needed to get. These golden eggs are from fishing, and you can put them in your player-owned house in aquarium when I unlock it. But for now they are just drop items, and these were basically so rare that these were on my backlog, but I ended up getting them all. Big bass, big swordfish, and big shark. I think big shark is it 1 in 5,000, something like that. And I ended up getting this pretty easily, except base. It was 1 in 2,000, but when you fish base you get a lot of chunk and other fish. And I forgot to mention, this was open. Another skill cap guy, but that's not what I care about. I needed 75 fletching, not 70, because there were rune arrowheads. But not a big difference. This next chunk I unlocked is the longest one. Firstly, thieving is unlocked, so I had to take 76 thieving for those saves, which I showed earlier. There's a master farmer here, and here is Yevtris. In itself didn't open much, but here is a spot where a thing called Evil Tree can spawn, which can be tier 90, level 93 Elder Logs, which means I had to firstly chop it, 90 wood cutting, and I had to burn the logs, 90 fire making, and I had to make Elderwood shield bow, which you can see is level 95. So that was a big grind. Well, I can show my stats now because we are on the last chunk. These are my stats right now after this chunk. This is my last chunk. As you can see, they are quite high. It took me 6 months. So that was the one big task. I got 100 wood cutting from that. And some bats I needed to kill, nothing special about that. And let's see the next task here, which was another big grind. Thankfully I took it first. Portal is open, nice. I opened farming spots, herbs and stuff. But this was the big one. Puro. I thought so I never needed to come back here, but for the video's sake. For many chunk Iron Men, this is a familiar place. But unlike in old school, I had to take 95 Hunter. Because, let's see, Butterfly and Imp. Here is level 95 Impling here. Crystal Impling. And so basically I just catched these until I got 95 Hunter. These XP rates are a bit higher than in old school. So I did calculations when I did this grind. It was around a bit over 60k an hour. Not too bad, but kind of pain in the ass. But I did some calculations because I had to take all the way to 95. Also, I need to mention here, I have a rule in the website that I can't boost skills, so I actually need to take it till that level. But anyway, I did some calculation and the grind length is around the same as in old school grind if you unlock. I can't show you the XP right now because I don't have the net, but it's just pain in the ass. Because I unlocked it with Implings, let me show you my bank. As you can see, I got tons of materials from Implings, mainly in this tab. But because I unlocked bottom floor, I needed to make summer pie, which needed 95 cooking. And I need to fish the fish for it, so my fishing is 92. I cook it here. And smithing was not big grind. I unlocked rune bars, which meant thank God I unlocked rune bars because I could make rune hatchet, which helped a lot in wood cutting. But was not too bad, 50, because after the smithing rework, as you can see here, after the smithing rework, Runite is level 50. There are a lot of more materials later on here. But I need to get level 50 smithing for that. Let's see. I also unlocked Black Dragon Hide, which meant I needed to make Black Dragon Hide equipment, which meant 60 defense. And now I can go over the few problems I had. So basically, the problems I had was firstly the urns. I didn't even think about this, but I used this strong farming urn in my farming grind, and this decorated farming urn basically can just store more XP, but the XP help is only 20%. But this won't work with magic trees. It's too high level. This will work up to 99 and above. But I didn't even think about this. This needed 84 crafting. And I used the website, it didn't tell me, I had no clue that. Basically I skipped the task. So in my third chunk I should have gotten, I had no nature runes, so I couldn't make the farming urns, but here 81 crafting for decorated cooking urn. So basically I had to get that. So I basically skipped the task because I didn't know. And other problem I had was when I was ending this chunk, I noticed that I had Dragonstone Amulet, which meant I needed magic level to enchant it into Amulet of Glory, which is 68 magic. But that's not the problem. The problem is that I didn't notice the silver ore, one silver ore in the mine, which I could make a red topaz amulet or a jewelry out of it, which meant that I needed level 4, I think, enchant, which is 57 magic. So I skipped a little bit of magic grind 2. That was not bad because magic was very fast. It's not that big of a deal. But the crafting one was kind of bad. It was really slow grind, but I took it eventually. I can live with that. One chunk later. But it was just ignorance. It was. And I hope if someone will watch this, I hope that you will tell me if I do mistakes like that. I don't want to cheat with this progress. Now I will show you some clips that I have taken throughout my journey. 91 Hunter. I decided to include this whole sequence because this really shows how pain in the ass these implings can be. But this is Kingly Impling, which is level 91 if I remember correctly. Mostly cosmetic stuff that you can get as a loot. There's the level 93 Hunter. And here is a big farming level, 70 farming. Some food cutting. I missed a lot of these levels. When especially these skills that are AFK, I can miss them. But here's, I had to take 60 attack because I got Dragon Spear from Impling. This clip has no audio because I had music playing in the background and for the copyright reasons I can't. I was listening some Black Sabbath, so can't use that. And here is the final Hunter level. '95. Finally get some crystal implings. I need to mention that I had only seen a crystal impling twice until this point in Puro Puro. It was really rare. So it took me like 5 hours to hop servers and find one. And it gave me coconuts. Was not fun. At 90 wood cutting. I was doing wood cutting between Hunter because it was kinda boring. And I got the fishing pet. I earlier got the wood cutting pet, and I can show you later. I got also the fire making pet and fletching pet. So this is my normal screen setup. I was just using the clear one in the introduction, but this place is event portal. In Halloween and during Christmas, event portal opens here. So basically all the holiday events are open for me. And the next clips are about that. You may have noticed that I have very high summoning and prayer, which are basically impossible for me to train. So I will explain that now. So this place is Halloween event 2024, and as you can see, I'm training thieving here. It was around same XP an hour as Master Farmer, but I ended up taking most of my thieving training here because I wanted the Halloween rewards. But this was not too bad. You could also train archaeology here, but I couldn't because I hadn't unlocked that skill yet and won't in a long time. uh, you can also train summoning, which I will show you later, and prayer. As you train skills here, you will get some remains that you can give to a ghost, and you can get free prayer XP basically. It is 70 thieving, not much to go. 76 was the goal. And here I trade. Uh, here I trade with the reward shop. I ended up unlocking all the cosmetics. Only cosmetics and pets and etc. And now I will show you how I took my prayer up. As you can see, I have some remains in my inventory. And when you give the full set to the ghost, it will reward with some prayer XP. To be honest, this whole event thing felt kinda bad. I'm glad that I couldn't do anything with the Christmas event, cause this felt kinda cheating, but it was within the rules, so all's good. But still, look how fast I get my prayer up. The fastest method I have with prayer is to kill ice giants and bury the bones for 15 XP. Or catch zombie implings and bury the bones. Yeah, I will show this clip and some summoning training, and other than that I will only show you the last levels. I got a lot of these clips from Halloween. So basically I spent my October here instead of doing my chunk. That's why it took me 6 months to finish the chunk. But I knew that summoning will be a problem in the future, so I took it as high as I could while this was still on. So this is the summoning training. You had to lit those 4 candles and then you just click in the middle and AFK. It was kinda stupid, but compared to regular summoning training, which I have not unlocked, uh, it was kinda slow, but it didn't eat any materials or cash or anything. Just click and AFK. So I took my summoning up to 88. If I unlock summoning later, I got still a lot of work to do, but 88 is a pretty nice starting point. I got materials unlocked from Implings to make Steel Titan, which requires 99 summoning. So if I unlock summoning, I most likely have to take it to 99, which will be rough. But yeah, I'm about to get that final level. And then I'm turning in the bones and getting 97 prayer. And if you are thinking why these clips are silent, it's because I was watching YouTube at the same time and I didn't realize that the recording tool will take those sounds as well. I was watching some, if I heard correctly, some Skyrim video or something. Here's the final level, and from now on I will only show the big levels because this video is already very long, so if I show everything I have done, this will be way too long. So I will only show the highlights. 99 woodcutting as such. This is not really a big level, 70 crafting, but I wanted to show you what I had to do to get to 95 fletching. So picking flags and stringing them. And this was the most annoying thing I have done in this whole chunk. But as like I say, annoying. But let's see the level and I go back to the big levels. So here is 95 fletching. You may have noticed that I put twice the speed. It's because I get these level ups faster. Here's 99 woodcutting. This one I did slow a bit of, showing a bit of respect. It's still 99, even though it's RuneScape 3. But speaking of RuneScape 3, here's one above 99. 1200. And here's my final fire making level. This is a bonfire. If you play old school, you may think, what the hell I'm doing? Throwing blocks in the fire. It's not fire making in RuneScape 3, it's fire keeping. Here's heavy farm. Was not a task, but it's still. Here's 90 fishing. I don't have clips from the 91 and 92, but 90 is a good number. And here's the 95 cooking. Second now, here. And here's 84 crafting. I'm making divination tools, but I made a good amount of each. I will never run out, except Hunter and Farm, because they use mud and nature runes, and they are kinda rare, but these ones with normal runes, elemental runes. Here's you see a bit of EOS evolution combat. Defense 60. I use revolution, but my threshold are not revolution. I think for simpler players using thresholds manually. Here's 70 range, and I'm pretty sure that I only should have taken 60, but now I got 70. I don't know why I thought I need 70. Elderwood bow is tier 60. spot anything that really requires level 70, but still. I got enough XP during this combat grind and got 88 prayer. And here's the final level, level 68, magic. There we go. And chunk tasks are complete. You may have wondered what that clown box thing is with annoying sound. I included this clip because this is a diversion and distraction that changes city, I think, every week. It's a circus minigame, and I got a bit of agility XP here, and mage and range, the fire making, and there's one another, but I can't do the fire making. It needs a quest. You can get cosmetic outfits from here, and in the entire time that I played, I think I have come across this maybe 4-5 times. It can spawn in Caterpie and Taverley, and those are the two that I can access, I think. But yeah, a bit of agility XP and magic XP and range XP. And how this works is there are these level requirements or levels that you won't fail so easily. And you have to get the check mark on each box so you get better rewards. And sometimes the audience asks you to do something, and basically I do those requests unless it's a level window I have already completed. Then I try to do some box that doesn't have that check mark. But here I'm doing the magic part, and there's still the range one. I decided to show this fully so you can see what kind of minigame this is. And after this you may have seen that I have leveled up skills that I can train, like archaeology and dungeoneering and construction and divination, and I leveled up those skills mainly with Jack of Trades. I will show. It's an aura that you can do once a day, and it gives like a bit of XP. In low levels it's like one level in a day. But in few days I used that aura to help me with my crafting, and it was about around 10k in a day XP for crafting. So not much, but little bit. And second thing I need to show you is daily challenges. Every day you get 3 challenges that you can complete, and you get a bit of XP if you complete them. And when you complete 3 tasks you get extra rewards like autocomplete token or something like that. I will show you now. So here I can do 2 tasks today, farming and prayer. For prayer I need to bury 10 bones, and here I activate the Jack of Trades aura. You need to get 50, at least 1 skill point to 15 skills to complete it within 3 hours. So I did the prayer task there and took some thieving XP for the aura, and I forgot runes. Range weapon and melee weapon to get all the combat XP. And if you have if you notice that you only need elemental runes for the spells in RuneScape 3, which is kinda dumb in my opinion. Fletching at woodcutting. Farming supplies for my big farming run and for the daily task. I've been farming iris because when I unlock Taverli I can get Eye of Newts for the super attack. When I train in the Burthorpe I only farm herbs like once in a day, but when I train here in Gutherb when I see that the herb patch is complete I go and pick them up. So this is my daily routine when the daily reset comes. Few minutes. And easy to complete when I'm not home with phone. So here I have completed the aura, I get the book, and some NPCs are voice acted in RuneScape 3, just to know. I took it to Archaeology, 24, and the daily tasks, a bit of XP. So I just wanted to show you that this way you can train skills that are not available. So I will now roll a new chunk. These four are available, but I also can use charter, so I need to open up Brimhaven, Musa Point in Karamcha, and what's it? Port. Let's see what it is. Is it Port Khazard? I think it's the name. And also Fishflinger's minigame in Relic. One thing I haven't said yet is that I roll two chunks. So I can have a bit of an effect that where I'm going. I'm not playing in this to make it as hard as possible, or I'm playing this to experience the whole of RuneScape 3. So I took the option to get two chunks rolled, and I can choose which one I take. Also, I forgot to mention Porozarim is also an optional option for a chunk. You notice that I had to open the wiki there so to know which one are open. But in the future I will roll the chunks live. I did this yesterday. I was too eager. 6 months is a long time. And here comes. The options are Taverli and Port Khazard. And I ended up taking Port Khazard because it's a quick one. Taverli opens up summoning and I don't want to think that yet. So I took Port Khazard. It opens up the map a bit. And also one thing I had to consider is that I have a hard clue step in Ardougne, which I want to do. So that's where I'm headed. So into the Port Khazard. The tasks here are getting 95 fishing. I need to. Good, I did it. Almost showed you my pumpkin. to getting 95 fishing for Tiger Shark in Fishing Traveler minigame and mining a Runiter, which I'm doing right now. So only 95 fishing, not much. And that's about it. In the future, I think these videos won't be this long. Also, I try to take live clips basically all the time, where I speak when I record. This was my first video and first time actually editing a video. I didn't realize how important it is. And if you have some advice for me or something you want, if you have watched it this long, uh, let let me know. I will read and take the suggestions. But yeah, I will quickly, before I end the video, show those two pets I mentioned earlier because I promised to show them. Here are the skilling pets. This is one thing I don't like. This is the woodcutting pet, and this is the firemaking pet. As you can see, they are very similar. I really don't like this. A single flame wouldn't be better than this. This is kinda cool, I think. And this is fletching. That's my fletching pet. But yeah, 4 pets. This was a kinda long video, and I thank you for watching. And I see you later.